Oh yeah. Yep.
No,
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I'm done.
We get it.
All right. Pokemon.
Pokemon.
Pokemon. Sword and Shield.
Like behind you, right there.
Kind of like
And
the
one
name
them
of our podcast.
Yeah. That too.
It's okay, Nintendo. We'll let you use this one. Just
We invented the word.
We're watching you.
Yeah.
Stealing our brand. No. So yeah, Sword and Shield Pokemon have been announced as the 8th generation Pokemon games, the first Pokemon games to be played on a console of sorts.
Yeah.
Well, I should say
If it's on
full
Switch, it's
Pokemon.
gonna be, yeah.
You know, yeah. Well, it's on the Switch. The Switch is a hybrid, so you kind of have to count it as both a handheld and a console. And so what we got during the Nintendo Direct the other day was we know the region that it's going to be taking place in. I think it's pronounced Galar, Galar, maybe Galar region. And it looks to be every region is kind of modeled after a real world region.
Yeah.
Like Kanto is modeled after Japan, and which is Generation 1, and then this one appears to be modeled after the UK.
Oh.
Like you can just kind of tell by the way, like there's a bit of an industrial feel to it. It looks like there's like cities that look a bit more European. The clothing definitely looks European. There's trains.
Has there ever been anything based on America?
Yes, I think one of the DS games was, or maybe it was Generation 3 on the Game Boy Advance. And we also got our 3 starters. We've got Grookey.
Oh, we do. Okay.
Who's a grass monkey type starter. We have Scorbunny, who is a fire type rabbit.
Really creative
Pokemon.
name.
Scorbunny. I don't mind it too much. And then everyone's favorite Sobble, who is the water starter, who is a chameleon.
I haven't seen this. That sounds dope.
Yep.
All right, do we have legendaries?
No legendaries announced yet. One thing I did notice in the reveal was that they took something away. So the last Pokemon games that just came out this fall were Pokemon Let's Go, Pikachu, and Eevee. And one thing that now there's, when it comes to wild Pokemon and random encounters where you'd run into a Pokemon, the game handled it. Let's Go, Pikachu, and Eevee handled it very differently from previous Pokemon entries, and it was the two big differences were you couldn't technically fight wild Pokemon; you could only catch them.
Yeah, like Pokemon Go.
Right, and it was very similar to Pokemon Go. Like you would just throw a Pokeball, and depending on how well you threw it, that would determine whether or not you caught it, like with timing and
you go like woo and spin around and stuff.
Yeah, but this way you actually do that with the Joy-Con and
they released those actual like Pokeball things.
Yeah, which from what I understood, like from what I saw, they weren't worth it. And they but so they've taken that away with this new Sword and Shield. You can battle Pokemon.
Good.
But the thing that everyone pretty much thought was great about Let's Go was it wasn't a random encounter. You would actually see Pokemon on the field running around, and then you would run up to them and make contact with them to initiate a battle.
Yeah, that's cool. You don't just, it's not just like...
Yeah, but they've gone back to that. Now, like they literally showed in the trailer the female trainer crawling around in grass, and then the screen does a transition into a battle with a Pikachu, a wild Pikachu, and it's like, great. Now we've taken...
Wait, you could see the trainer crawling around in the grass?
Yeah, she's crawling through the grass. What do you mean?
Is it pixelated?
No, it's like a 3D model.
They're doing that. They're doing that now.
Yeah, they've had 3D models in Pokemon for
in like the traditional games.
Yeah, 3DS was fully 3D.
Which one?
X and Y and Sun and Moon.
Really?
Yeah, fully 3D.
Like, what perspective is it from?
It's a little bit. somewhat overhead, but also the camera's like you can kind of see into the distance too. It's third person.
I don't think I've ever seen that. Wow. Weird.
But and that's another thing. Actually, the camera. It seems like the camera is more free looking this time around than it has been.
But the old system is so tedious. I just remember, like,
what just
ran it.
You
You're
just
in grass
hope
and
that it's one of, like, when I was trying to catch a Chansey earlier this week, it was a 4% chance I was going to run into one. 4%. That's one in what? That's like 1 in 25 encounters. It's ridiculous.
It's like this is like, it's a really primitive way to do it. I feel like,
Yeah.
like that's how Final Fantasy 1 did things.
Well, imagine playing Final Fantasy and you're looking for that one monster to kill.
Yeah.
But they're really rare.
Yeah.
It's just like, no, why waste your time?
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely preferred that change that Let's Go brought, but now it's like they're bringing it back and it's like, well, why even, like, no one was complaining about that. Why did you change it? Yeah. Like, sure, change the Pokeball system back. Like, I don't, that doesn't bother me. Mm-hmm. You know, bring it back so that you have to weaken them first and then use Pokeballs traditionally. But yeah, the whole going back to random encounters is very strange to me that they're making that.
Also, why didn't they just reveal this in the Direct that was a few weeks ago?
But just because a lot like Smash Brothers and Mario, like Pokemon is a major franchise that they wanted to give an entire direct to, and it wasn't 30 minutes long. It was only like 11.
It was a
minutes.
direct?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
But it was a shorter direct, just dealing with Pokemon.
Right.
So, yeah, I honestly, a lot of people think that the new starters look lazy. Actually, I think the starters, especially the rabbit, the Scorbunny, looks probably like one of the best starters we've had since Generation 1. Like, outside of the Gen 1 starters, like, I do not like any of the starters that they give you. Like, they're not, like, there's something about the first 3 starters, Bulbasaur, Charmander, and Squirtle, which were so, like, they were just creative and very, very iconic. And I feel like they've always been chasing that ever since then. I think Grookey looks weird, and Sobble just, I'm sorry, like, I don't understand why everyone's going crazy over Sobble.
What is it?
Sobble. It's the water starter.
I didn't actually look at these.
There's too many. See, what I don't understand also with water, why is there a water starter type? There are so many water Pokemon in the Pokemon games that it's like, why do you need a water starter? I don't know.
Well, aren't the starters always the green? Like,
it's always grass, fire, and water.
Oh, okay, I see him now. You said Grookey looks weird?
Yeah.
Really? I think that's the best looking one. I think the Scorbunny thing looks dumb.
I think he looks great.
Why does he have a Band-Aid on his nose?
To make him sporty looking.
It's weird.
I like his design. I think it's good, but
I like Sobble too. I think Scorbunny's the worst. Sorry.
That's fine. I mean, you're entitled to your incorrect opinion.
Okay.
And actually, that's kind of how the rest of the internet is reacting to. They're, like, no one's impressed with Scorbunny, but I like Scorbunny. But I'm always partial to the fire starters anyway. I just don't. And another thing people were complaining about was it seems like the graphics haven't really been enhanced that much since Let's Go, which Let's Go seemed like an up-resed 3DS game.
Yeah.
Like, just with more effects, and it was a very clean looking game. But at the same time, like, that's kind of the whole thing about Pokemon. Like, it's been on handhelds forever. Mm-hmm. And handhelds are not as powerful as consoles, so
yeah. What do you want? Like a hyper realistic Pokemon?
Yeah. To be fair, and I did see another YouTuber comment on this. They said that basically, like, Pokemon does make a lot of money, like a lot of money. You can bring in other studios. You can bring in like hire people that are really good at giving, making highly detailed character models and graphical and environments, and just putting that money back into the game and making it look really good, but they don't do that.
Yeah.
So to me, yeah, that's a valid point. Like, this game makes you a lot of money. You should treat it like it makes you a lot of money.
Yeah.
So I can say the fans have a point with that. But at the same time, like, with the exception of the random encounters changed, some people, I guess, were expecting, since it's going to the Switch and the Switch is a console, like, for them to really change things up. No. Pokemon sells because Pokemon plays like Pokemon.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of silly to expect them to shake things up too much.
Are you going to get one?
No.
You're not going to get Sword, bro? Sword?
Since playing Pokemon Gold has seriously opened my eyes. Like, when I was a kid, and I was more of a teenager back then, but when I was playing Generation 1 and I saw Generation 2 release, and I was like really at the time trying to get all 150 Pokemon, I was just like, so this next one's going to have 100 more to make it 250. I'm like, I'm done. Yeah. I'm just going to stick with Generation 1. And having gone back and play Generation 2 for the first time, I'm just kind of like, I'm glad I made that decision when I was a kid. Because I would hate to, like, still be playing basically the same game. And I know that they've added things here and there, and they have updated certain elements.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, it's still the same game. It's a different region and there are different Pokemon, but you're still basically doing the same thing. And I don't need multiple games to do the same thing.
Yeah.
I can always go back to Gen 1 and be like, this is my Pokemon game.
No, yeah, I agree. They're all kind of the same. It's just, it sells though, like you said. People buy them, so.
Because they're very diehard fans of the series, and kids love getting into Pokemon too, because it scratches that collection itch, but that's just not an itch that I have anymore. So